सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So in the last session we saw how the Guru concludes, so to say, the introduction before giving the answers by saying tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye swaihi eva yatna kartavyah rogadau iva panditaihi. Tasmat, therefore for all the reasons that I have given from verse number 50 to 65, all 16 verses, whatever reasons we have seen, therefore following all those reasons, bhavabandha vimuktaye swaihi eva yatna kartavyah. One has to put forth efforts oneself for liberating from the bondage of samsara. Sarva prayatnena, by all means. By all means means whatever is required should be done. Like what? Rogadau iva panditaihi. Rogadau iva, just like the example which was given earlier. A person who has disease has to consume the medicine. Whatever is required to get rid of that disease. Right? So that is where Guru concluded the previous topic. And then he once again, before answering the question, once again praised the questions of the student and said, Yahatvaya adya kritaha prashnaha. The question that is asked by you now, Variyan, is excellent. Shastravit mataha is in line with the view of the knowers of scriptures, or Shastra Sammataha is approved by scriptures. Scriptures will tell you that this is the correct question that you should ask. But where do we, you see, any question you take in the Shastra, in the Vedanta Shastra, in different Upanishads, different way the same question is asked. Everybody is asking about that essential nature of oneself. That is the main core question. What? Who am I? But the way it is asked in different Upanishads is different. In some Kena Upanishad, etc., if you see, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha, Kena pranaf prathamah praiti yuktaha, Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti, Chakshushrotram ka udevo yunakti. Who is that? Empowered by whom all your senses, mind, body, everything functions. What is that? That is my true core. That is me. What is that consciousness? What is that? You see another Upanishads also. Similar question will be there, but asked in a different way. Kathopanishad, etc. If you see, Nachiketa is asking similar question, but is anyatra dharmad, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat krita kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yat tat pashyasi tat vada. Is asking to Yamaraja, you tell me that which is beyond dharma and adharma. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat krita akritat, whatever we have done, whatever we have not done, it is beyond that. Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, it is different from what was and what will be. What is that? What is that essential nature? Arjuna is also asking similar question in Bhagavad Gita. So the point is what? The questions that are asked by the student now are in line with the scriptural way of putting forth the doubt. The doubt should be about what? It is in line with that thought. Now, we know that the questions are 7. Isn't it? We have remembered also those questions. But remember, all those questions are around the main theme of who am I? Isn't it? Right now I consider myself to be bound. So the 4 questions related to bondage. Ko nama bandha, what is bondage? Katamesha agata, from where has it come? Katam pratishthasya, how is it sustaining? Katam vimoksha, how to get rid of it? Kaha asau anatma, what is not me? Paramah ka atma, who am I actually? Tayor vivekah katam, how to distinguish between who I am not and who I am. So everything is centered around that single basic inquiry, quest of who am I? What is my true nature? Right? And therefore, the Guru here says that it is Shastra Vinmataha or Shastra Sammataha. And what? Sutra Prayaha, you have asked in a brief. In one verse, you have asked all 7 questions. But Nigudharthaha, but it is poignant with meaning. So full with meaning. Each question actually can be expanded so much that the answer comes within it. Jnatavyasya mumukshubhi. Not only that, the most important thing is what? It is something that must be known by all the seekers of liberation. Mukshu. By all the seekers of liberation, mumukshubhi jnatavyaha. This is something that one must know. Essential. All other kinds of things you may know, may not know. That is up to you. What is GDP? GDP? Index, no? That measures the growth of the country, economical growth. What is GDP? You may know, you may not know. But Swamiji, one should know, no? If you think you should know, you should know. That's a different thing. But it is not essential to your living. There are people who are alive without knowing what is GDP. Yes or no? But Swamiji, like that, so there are people alive without asking this question also. Correct. But the point is what? What is the purpose of human birth? Why are we born as humans? To realize one's true nature. That is the purpose. Not to know GDP. If you know, I am not saying it is a bad thing. No, it's a good thing. One should know. But this is something that should know. In English, this is not right, but you understand my point. That it is something that is absolutely necessary. For this only, our entire birth has happened. Right? Example. Suppose you are traveling somewhere by flight and it is a layoff flight. Means you want to go somewhere else, but it is stopping at one place and then going. Connecting flight is there. Suppose you want to go to US, for example, America, from India to America. Now it will be, it will be stopping at Dubai or something, probably sometimes. And then another flight will take you to the next destination. Now what happens is, there are a few hours between the first flight that has landed and next flight that is going to take off. Few hours are there. So what they do is, they give you a temporary visa. Suppose you want to visit the city, you can go and visit and come back, catch the next flight and go. Now having got that temporary visa, Suppose you keep roaming on the airport. Oh, so many shops are there, airport. Such a beautiful airport. And keep looking there, here, there, on the airport itself. What will it be called? It will be called a waste. Why? Because in that much time you could have seen a new city. Remember, the airport shops are same. You go to India airport, you go anywhere, all airport shops are same only. There was a chance which was given to you, but you have not used it. In the same way, when we are born as human beings, one chance is given to us. What is that chance? That you can know yourself, which is not possible in any other birth. Now, having got this chance, if we keep roaming in the world, knowing something or trying to know something of the world, what will it be called? It will be called a wastage. In Kenopanishad, it is said, Iha cheda vedit atha satyamasti, na chediha vedit mahati vinashti. If you realize that supreme reality here, now, in this birth, atha satyamasti, then you have done what you are supposed to do. Na chediha vedit, if you don't realize the supreme here, mahati vinashti, it's a great loss. Why great loss? Because you got a chance and you didn't do. See, understand the difference. One who never got a chance, it's not a great loss for him. But one who got a chance but could not do it is a great loss. You got human birth, got an opportunity to know one's own true nature, and you didn't get it. It's a great loss. Therefore, this is some kind of inquiry which is a must for all the seekers of liberation, for all of us. That's what the Guru also says. And immediately he says, now listen, Shunushva. How? Avahitaha. Avahitaha, carefully. Not with distracted mind, with complete focus. Shunushva, listen. What? Vidwan, oh wise person, you have come to the right question. Now listen to the answer. Yat maya samudiryate, that which is being given, that which is being answered by me, listen to it carefully. Tadetat shravanat, by listening to it, sadhyah, immediately, bhavabandhat vimokshase, you will be liberated from the bondage of samsara. So listen carefully to what I am saying now. Right? I had told you, please note one point, sadhyah. By listening, you will be liberated. And I also told you that I will explain what is so much important in that in today's session. Right? So then, the teacher starts answering question number 4. Question number 4, why? Because that is the most important question. How to get liberated from the bondage? What is the bondage? From where it has come? How it is sustaining? We will see later. First understand how to get rid of it. Right? And it is also a short answer. Why? Because it is a procedural type of question. How? When how is a kind of question, then you can give step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, easy. So that's what the Guru takes first. Says, Mokshasya hetu prathamaha nigadyate. Mokshasya, for liberation, prathamaha hetu. The first step, first cause, nigadyate, is explained. What? Vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu. Atyantam vairagyam. Atyantam vairagyam means what? Total detachment. Total detachment from what? Anitya vastushu, towards all the impermanent objects. Now, See, now Shankaracharya ji is not going to explain each and every word, because these are the topics that he has taken before. Isn't it? Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshutva, all these points are explained before. So he is just hinting that, remember, there was a question, there was a topic about Vairagya we had taken. Tad Vairagyam Jihasaya Darshana Shravanadibhi. Remember that verse? So that is what is now to be brought here. So what is Vairagya? Vairagya is to give up the longing for the enjoyment of the sense pleasures coming from the sense objects. Not to give up the objects, not to give up the pleasure, but to give up the longing for that pleasure, longing for the joy that comes out of them. That is step number 1. Now, when it is said Vairagya is step number 1, we have to understand that this step includes Viveka with it. Because without Viveka, Vairagya is not possible. You will do giving up of what? How will you know what is permanent, what is impermanent? By Viveka only. So, when it is said dispassion or detachment towards the impermanent objects, the distinguishing between the impermanent and permanent already is included in this Vairagya. So, when Vairagya it is said, Viveka Vairagya is what we have to understand as the step number 1. Then what? Tataha, thereafter, Shamaha, control of mind, Cha api Damaha, and also control of senses, Titiksha, forbearance, and Nyasaf Prasakta Akhila Karmanam Brisham, immediately or totally, Prasakta Akhila Karmanam, from all the attachment, Prasakta. Attachment to what? Akhila Karma, all actions. What? Nyasaha, renunciation. So this step we understood as Uparama. See, Uparama many times is understood as Sannyasa. Why? Because effortless withdrawal and sannyasa is one and the same actually. So, Uparama, as it was explained, no, Bahya Analambanam Vrittehe, Esha Uparatiruttama. In Vivek Chudamani, Shankaracharya explained Uparama like that, where the mind is not taking support of the outer objects. Means what? The mind is withdrawn effortlessly within. When will that happen? When renunciation has happened. Now, renunciation, please don't take it literally. That I have to stop wearing all these kind of clothes and I should wear orange clothes. That is renunciation. That is just outside expression of renunciation. What is actual renunciation? This is what is actual renunciation. Giving up of attachment to all the actions. That is what is called as renunciation. So that actually implies what? Uparama. So Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha. You understand Shraddha also, Samadhana also. By Upalakshana. You remember now what is Upalakshana? What is Upalakshana? When we are mentioning one or two things and all other things related to it are included. That is called as Upalakshana. When I say Shrotradi, ears, etc. So all the 5 sense organs are included. This is called as Upalakshana. Right? So here Vairagya is mentioned, Shama, Dama, Uparama and Titiksha are mentioned. By Upalakshana you have to include all the remaining also and understand that Sadhana Chatushtaya is what is given as the first step. Or first few steps you can say. That's up to you. Right? So towards liberation, what is your first step? Gaining Sadhana Chatushtaya. This is called as first step. Now, there is step 0 that comes before Sadhana Chatushtaya, which is not mentioned here. Because the teacher is expecting that you have already done that, and that's when you have come here. To study Vedanta Shastra, Sadhana Chatushtaya is eligibility, isn't it? We have seen Adhikari. In Adhikari, we have seen the Sadhana Chatushtaya. But the Sadhana Chatushtaya one gains when one has Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. Important points. Please note carefully. Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind. Chitta Ekagrata, single pointedness or concentration of mind. Now here the word chitta is used in a general sense of antakarana, the inner instrument. Okay, not because sometimes in Vedanta chitta will be used as memory, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Here it is not used in that sense, in a general sense. Chitta shuddhi, purification of mind. When it is said mind, you understand everything, mind, intellect, memory, ego, everything together. So chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata. This results in sadhana chatushtaya. So suppose you say that I am not able to develop sadhana chatushtaya, what should I do? You have to put efforts in gaining chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata, purity of mind and concentration of mind. Now, how will I gain that? So, the methods given are karma yoga and upasana. Karma yoga and upasana. Now, you will understand how the structure of Veda is. Earlier also in the introduction we have seen Vedas, each of the Vedas have got sections. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Now with karma, with the attitude of karma yoga, you gain chitta shuddhi. How? Here in Vivek Chudamani itself, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji had said, Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu upalabdhaye vastu siddhir vicharena nakinchit karma kotibhi. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. When the action is performed for that higher altar of God, then that action results in purification of mind. Otherwise, action is of two types, good action, bad action. It will result in two possible results, punya or papa. But when that action is not done for oneself, when the action is performed as a dedication unto Lord, that kind of action results in chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. So actually in the Vedas, whatever is given as the first section of Karma Kanda, one is supposed to perform that with Karma Yoga attitude. Then it will give Chitta Shuddhi. Then what? Then the second section is that of Upasana. Upasana means Manasika Karma, where you are trying to now concentrate your mind on your goal. So, Upasana gives Chitta Ekagrata. Sometimes, Bhakti sadhanas are considered in Upasana. Puja, Japa, Chintana. Chintana means Dhyana. That is considered to be Upasana. In other words, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the path of action and the path of devotion, when practiced, give me Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. Right? Then with that Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata, I attain Sadhana Chatushtaya. Then with that Sadhana Chatushtaya, I approach a teacher with humility and attitude of surrender and serve. Then the knowledge aspect comes in. Then the path of knowledge begins. So, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga and Upasana resulting in Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata resulting in Sadhana Chatushtaya. And with that Sadhana Chatushtaya, we are approaching a Guru Upasadana. It's not a new word for you now. Guru Upasadana, approaching a Guru. This much is called as Bahiranga Sadhana. Bahiranga Sadhana. Sadhana means means. Means for liberation. Bahihi, outer. Anga, limb. Sadhana means. So this is the outer limb of the means of liberation. What is the outer limb? Karma Yoga Upasana resulting in Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, Sadhana Chatushtaya, Guru Upasadana. This much is called as Bahiranga Sadhana. After this Bahiranga Sadhana comes Antaranga Sadhana. Antaranga means inner limb. Inner limb means what? Which is closer to the goal. Now, what is that inner limb? That is the famous path of Jnana Yoga, famous path of knowledge, which is Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Now that inner limb is explained in the next verse. So carefully if you note, Katham Vimokshaha, how to get liberation, what is the path? Shankaracharya is explaining Bahiranga Sadhana in verse number 69 and Antaranga Sadhana in verse number 70. That's it. In 2 verses, answer is over. Bahiranga Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana. So in Bahiranga Sadhana, now he has mentioned only Sadhana Chatushtaya, but we have understood other things also. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, giving Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, then getting Sadhana Chatushtaya and approaching a teacher. Up to this is Bahiranga. Now what? Now the next step is Antaranga Sadhana. Let us see. Verse number 70. Please repeat. Tata Shrutis tat tanmananam satatva. Dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe. Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan. Ihaiva nirvana sukham samricchati. Tata shrutistan mananam satatvadhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe. Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan. Ihaiva nirvana sukham samricchati. As I told you last time, the meter is not different, just the tune is different. Because these 2 verses together, the moment that tune comes, you will remember that this is the answer to Katham Vimoksha. Therefore, using different tune. Otherwise, we can use normal tune also here. We will use it at other times. Here, 2 verses, we will keep it in this tune. Mokshasya hetuf prathamo nigadyate. And this, the 2 verses, right? So, what is he saying? Now, after gaining Sadhana Chatushtaya, means what? After gaining Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata that is required, then what one has to do? Tataha. Tataha, thereafter. Thereafter, after gaining Sadhana Chatushtaya, after approaching the teacher. Then what? Shrutihi. Shrutihi means listening. Shravana. Shravana. Then what? Antaranga Sadhana is starting. In Antaranga Sadhana, step number 1 is Shravana. Then Tanmananam. Tanmananam means Tatmananam. Tatmananam means Tasya Mananam. Manana is the next step. Manana means what? Reflection. Reflection. Reflection on what? On what is heard. So, Tat Mananam means reflection on Shravana. Whatever you have heard, now on that you reflect. Tat Mananam. Step number 2. Step number 3. Satatva Dhyanam. Dhyana. Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is the next step. Contemplation. But how that contemplation should be? Satatva. Satatva means meditating on the essence. The essence of what is heard and what you have reflected upon, on that you meditate. One meaning of Satatva. Satatva can also mean along with its essence. Means what? Along with the essence of contemplation, you contemplate. And what is that? Explained in the next half line. Chiram Nitya Nirantaram. Chiram means for a long time. Chirakala, for a long time. You have to contemplate for a long time. And how? Nitya Nirantara. Nitya Nirantaram. Nitya regularly. Nirantara continuously. Regularly, continuously, for a long time when we contemplate, that is the next step. See how beautiful Shankaracharya is bringing. So, tatashhrutihi, tat mananam, satatva dhyanam, and how that satatva dhyana should be? Chiram, for a long time, nitya nirantaram, and it is unbroken, continuous, regular. That is the next step. Step number 3 in Antaranga Sadhana. Okay. We are going to see this all steps one by one. Okay. I am just explaining now the meaning of the verse. Munehe. Munehe means for that contemplative seeker who is now has become Muni. For that, now these are the steps. That's what Shankaracharya is saying. Tatashhrutihi, tat mananam, satatva dhyanam. Then what? Tataha. Then, thereafter, avikalpam param. Let us go by this method. First, let us understand avikalpam as another step. Tataha avikalpam. Avikalpam means nirvikalpam. Nirvikalpa samadhi. The state of meditation which is thoughtless. Okay. So, nididhyasana we said contemplation, now this becomes meditation. We will see what is the difference. Then what? Vidwan param etya. Param etya. Etya means having reached. In gato dhatu. Dhatu is to go. Etya having reached. What? Param. That supreme having reached. That vidwan, that intelligent, wise, jnani now, the person has become jnani, iha eva, here itself, in this body itself, means what? In this birth itself, nirvana sukham samruchati gains, attains, what? Nirvana sukham, the bliss of enlightenment, nirvana, liberation, enlightenment. Nirvana Sukham, the bliss of enlightenment, one attains ihaiva, here itself. Jivan Mukti, what we simply call as Jivan Mukti. So, now you see, Tatashhrutihi, Tanmananam, Satatva Dhyanam Chiram Nitya Nirantaram Munehe, Tataha Avikalpam, Parametya Vidwan, Ihaiva Nirvana Sukham Samruchati. Is this clear now? Now let us go to step by step, one by one. Here, you see what is the topic of discussion. What is the essential question that we all must know the answer of? Who am I? Right. Now, for that answer, who am I, what kind of question is it? Means, some questions are there where the answer is not sufficient, you also have to do something. Some kinds of attainment are of that type where after knowing, we have to do. Earlier we have seen, I want to reach a particular place. From Kochi, I want to reach Delhi. Then I should know how to go and actually I should go. Isn't it? Knowledge followed by action. It is called apraptasya prapti, attainment of what is not attained. How to get a degree? Hey, you want a degree, then what? First, I need to know how to do that, and second, I need to do it. All kinds of worldly things are of this type. I need to first know and then do. Now, in the spiritual field, the enquiry is on the subject, me. I am the, so to say, topic of enquiry. And because I want to know myself, when the answer will be given, the attainment is not of this type, where I should know first and then I should do something. No. Why? Because I am already available with me. Atma tu satatam praptah api apraptavat avidyaya. Atmabodha verse. Atma tu, the self is satatam praptah, ever attained. Apraptavat avidyaya, because of my ignorance I think I don't know who am I. Tannashe praptavat bhati. When that ignorance is destroyed, then I think that I have gained it. Like what? Swakantha bharanam yatha. Like a necklace in your own neck. Shankaracharya gives example in Atmabodha. What is that? Suppose you are wearing a necklace, mala. But many times it happens that you are wearing it, but you don't know that you are wearing it. And now that you have to go out, you start searching for it. Mala, 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 where is mala, where is mala? And you search everywhere in your entire room, entire house. Will you get it? No, everywhere outside you are searching, you don't get it. Then you start getting angry and then you call all the people of the house and then you say, who kept my mala? How many times I have told you not to touch my things? And you go blast. And your son, your daughter, somebody comes and, what are you searching? Mala. There only. You are wearing it. Oh, now something that I already have, but I don't know that I have. Something that I already have, praptasya, but I don't know that I have, then its attainment, prapti. Praptasya prapti, attainment of what is already attained. How it happens? It happens only by knowledge. No action is required after knowledge. Before knowledge, action may be required to gain the knowledge. Yes, true. But after knowledge, now once the daughter or son has pointed out to me that the mala is in my own neck, do I have to do anything to gain the mala? No. Why? Because I already have it. This is old example. Shankaracharya 1000 years back has written. Nowadays you can use the example of specs. Many times you keep your own specs on your own head and then keep searching for the specs all around. All the while the specs are always with you. So we start the entire inquiry by saying, I want happiness, I want peace, I want this, I want that. Where is all that? That is already with me. Why it is already with me? Because that is my nature. The self is of the nature of bliss. So the happiness that I am searching in the world is already attained by me, but because of ignorance, I don't know that I have. Or rather, I don't know that I am in this case. I don't understand that I am the bliss that I am searching. right? Now, so here the attainment is not of the type that there is something which I don't have and therefore I should know and I should do to reach there. No. Here attainment is of the type that I should just know it. Why? Because it is already attained. Because it is already attained, the problem is only ignorance. The problem is not attaining. It is already attained. The problem is only ignorance. Therefore, the solution is only knowledge. Right? That knowledge which will make me understand that I already am it. I am already that. I don't have to go anywhere in search. I am that. This knowledge is called Sakshat Sadhana. Sakshat Sadhana means direct means. There is nothing in between the knowledge and attainment. Why? Because attainment is already happened. I don't have to attain liberation, actually speaking. Why? Because I am of that nature already. Only thing is that the ignorance that is covering has to be removed. So that knowledge, Atma Jnana, is called as Sakshat Sadhana. So there is Bahiranga Sadhana, there is Antaranga Sadhana, then there is Sakshat Sadhana. What is the next step to Sakshat Sadhana? Moksha, that is the goal. It's not a step, it's actually destination. So Shankaracharya ji is giving us the path to liberation. Katham Vimoksha, how should I get liberated? The path is Bahiranga Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana, Sakshat Sadhana, Moksha. This much is okay? Understanding? Now, since the problem is only ignorance, the solution is knowledge. Now, because the solution is knowledge, therefore the Antaranga Sadhana, the inner limb of means, is totally connected with that knowledge. Now, for me to experience my own true nature, the steps are given. Careful. For me to experience my true nature, not gain my nature, please. I am not saying I need to gain Atma. I am Atma. I already am that. In order for me to experience it, in order that the self-knowledge, the direct experience takes place, steps are given to refine the knowledge. Those steps are called as Antaranga Sadhana. What is the first step of Antaranga Sadhana? Shravana. Your daughter or son came and told you that what you are searching for, you are already wearing it. You heard. That's how the knowledge happened. In the example, right? Here also, first step is Shravana. And that Shravana should be from the teacher. Guru Mukhat Shravanam. Earlier we have seen the importance of Guru and etc. etc. We are not going to go back to that. Who tells me that I am what I am searching for? Who tells me? The Guru. So I am searching for happiness. I am that what I am searching for. Who tells me? Guru. From where is Guru telling? From the Shastra. So Shastra Vakya, the statements of scripture, are explained by the Guru. Now, what is my job? I need to listen. that step of listening is called as Shravana. Now the Shravana is a technical term in Vedanta. Technical term means Paribhashika Shabda. Means what? That it has a connotation. It is not just a simple meaning. It implies some more aspects. So one or two aspects we have seen. Shravana means what? Listening. That is a simple meaning. What do you mean by Shravana as a step in Vedanta, in Jnana Marga? The step indicates, number one, from the Guru. I must listen from the Guru. Okay. Number two, what am I listening to? I am listening to the knowledge of the scriptures. Number two. Number three, what? I have to listen. Listen means not hear, I have to listen. Hearing and listening, there is a difference. What is the difference? Hearing means you take it from one ear, let it out from another ear. That is called as hearing. Don't pay attention to it. Whereas listening means with attention. With faith. See, all these are connotations of Shravana. With faith means what? Shraddha Yukta. Why? Because only when you have faith in the scriptures and in the Guru, then only you will be able to listen properly. Otherwise, at every step you will say, no, how it is? What is the proof? Then you will not be able to listen. So, Shravana has to be with faith and with attention. That is next part. Sometimes you will also hear Sanyasya Shravanam Kuryat. You should renounce and then listen. Swamiji, but you didn't tell us. Now 2021 classes are over. We have not done any sannyasa. Are you have done. When you sit for class, you renounce everything and sit. Yes or no? If at that time you are still thinking that I am mother of my children, father of my children, what we say, son of somebody, then what? Then it will all distract you. But when you sit to listen, you shut out all these things and say, right now I am the seeker, I want to know. This is called a sannyasa. Temporary sannyasa. Temporary sannyasa. But unless you do that, you will not be able to listen. Please note that Vedanta or spirituality is not a part-time job. You cannot do it part-time. You have to completely dedicate yourself. Then only it will happen. See, after dedicating completely also, it takes so many years or births also sometimes. So it's not a part-time thing that you can do side by side. It's not a subject like mathematics, science where it has nothing to do with your life. You come there, attend class and then go back. No, spirituality is not like that. So Sanyasya Shravanam Kurya. Also, one of the important aspects of Shravana is what? To come to the right central message. That is called as Shravana. Means what? When you listen to the Upadesha of the Guru, the teaching of the scriptures, you have to understand what is the crux of that teaching. If you come to that crux, then you can say that your step of Shravana is complete. You listen to the entire story of Ramayana, and at the end of it you ask, who was Sita? Then that means you have not listened to the Ramayana. If you don't know who is Sita, after listening to the Vedanta completely, you say, I have understood. The story is there in Chandogya Upanishad, that this Indra and Virochana, Indra is the king of the Devatas. Virochana is the king of Asuras. Both of them went to Prajapati, Brahmaji, to gain the knowledge. Same knowledge was given to both. This same knowledge which we are gaining now. But at the end of the entire discourse of Brahmaji, Virochana, completely convinced on his understanding, said that I have understood what I am, this body. This is me. Convinced, he returned. Whereas Indra was confused. Indra said, no, I am not the body, but how I am not the body, that is not clear. So he went again. He asked again. Brahmaji told again. Still he was not having complete clarity. He again went and again asked. Till it became clear that I am not the body. So coming to right conclusion, coming to the central theme is what is to be achieved in Shravana. Please note this. Tatparya avadharana. Tatparya avadharana. Avadharana means comprehending. Tatparya means essence. The essential teaching I must comprehend. If I do that, then Shravana has happened. That's why I said that Shravana is technical term here. It is not just listening. No. It has all these aspects. You listen from the Guru, listen to the teaching of the scripture, listen with full attention, not just hearing, listen with that kind of renunciation that you are not attached to all other things. Now entire focus is on what is being taught and you come to the right conclusion. I always remember this joke. One person was doing experiment. Very funny experiment. What? Experiment on cockroach. Very evil person also. Wanted to check how cockroaches, work. So he caught a cockroach, kept it on the table and said, run. The cockroach ran. He again caught. Very evil person, I am telling you. Then he removed one leg of the cockroach and then again put it on the table and said, run. The cockroach ran. Again caught. One more leg removed. Again kept. Run. Again cockroach ran. Again caught. So like this, one by one, 6 legs. No, cockroach has got 6 legs. So he removed. Now last one leg was remaining. He kept it on the table and said, run. Now the cockroach could only go round and round because only one leg is there. And then he caught again. Removed the leg. Kept it again. Said, run. Now the cockroach is not running. So the person concluded his experiment. What was the conclusion? Conclusion. After removing 6 legs of cockroach, the cockroach loses the capacity to hear. This is the conclusion. Why? Because I kept telling run, the cockroach did not run. Now this is called as coming to a wrong conclusion. Experiment was okay, but the conclusion was wrong. You listen to the entire Vedanta, all the scriptures, all the gurus are telling you, you are not the body, you are that Brahman, you are not the body, you are that Brahman, and you come to a conclusion, therefore I am the body. What? Exact opposite. That is not called as Shravana. Shravana means coming to right central theme, central message. That is also important. Otherwise, many people, they remember, when they listen to any talk, etc., I am sure you will not forget this cockroach story. You may forget what was the point told for the cockroach story, but some people love that. They will remember the story and the example and the joke. They will forget what was the main point. You go also afterwards and say, I am attending nowadays this Vivek Chudamani class, it is so good. And then the person says, oh, really? What is taught? What can I say? You must listen. Yeah, but what is taught? I will give you link, you listen. But what is taught? That I have forgotten. What was taught in the class? That I don't remember, but it is very good. That is not called as Shravana. Shravana means what? Whatever you have listened to, you should be able to come to the central point. What is exactly Shankaracharya trying to explain? What are the scriptures telling? What is Guru trying to explain? That is called as Shravana. Now, is the Shravana sufficient? For highly advanced seekers, Shravana itself gives the direct experience. Go 2 verses back. I told you to note down something. Remember? 2 verses back. Shunushvavahito vidvan yanmaya samudiryate tadetat shravanat sadyah bhavabandhat vimokshate. Just by listening to it, you will be liberated. When? When the student is absolutely ready. Then that Shravana itself is sufficient. This is one of the main siddhantas of Vedanta. Shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. Shravana matrena, by Shravana alone, by mere Shravana, jnanam bhavati. Knowledge takes place, experience takes place. Now, in case Shravana is over, but Jnana has not happened, then what to do? Then the next step is told. If in case you have not got it, then what? Then do Manana. But Swamiji, it is said no, Shravana Matrena Jnanam Bhavati, then Manana is not required. Correct. If knowledge, the direct experience has taken place in the step of Shravana, Manana etc. is not required, further steps are not required. From Shravana you have directly jumped to that Sakshat Sadhana and you have got moksha. In case you have not got it, then what? Then the next step comes Manana. What is Manana? Manana means reflecting. But here it is said beautifully, Tat Mananam. Reflecting on what? Not reflecting on. This time Makar Sankranti is on 14th January or 15th January. That Manana you are not supposed to do here. Here, Tat Mananam, what you have listened to, Shravana, that central message you took, no, from the teaching, on that central message you reflect. You reflect means what? Bring out different doubts and resolve it. Guru is telling, I am what I am searching. What am I searching? I am searching for happiness. I am that happiness. How can I be that happiness? My present understanding of myself is this body. Am I this body? Why am I not this body? Am I the mind? Why am I not the mind? Am I that bliss? How am I that bliss? Now all these questions you are bringing yourself and reflecting on it. Reflecting on it. You know that cow eats a lot and then sits in a corner and brings out whatever it has eaten and chews again. You know? Like that. Now Shravana, you have taken everything, information. Now what? Now you chew it. Why? Because then only you can digest it. In Shravana you have listened. Now you reflect. Bring one point and reflect. Oh, it is like that. Oh, like that. Oh. Now this is called as Manana. So in this Manana, dedication, that feeling has to be there. Vedanta Manana has to, you should do it with the feeling that it is not that, chalo, class is over, now close the book, now next Sunday at 5 o'clock the book will be opened. That is okay, but are you thinking about what was told? Not that much. Then that means that dedication is not. When you have that dedication, you will keep reflecting on it. Even when the class is over, you are walking, but in the mind those thoughts are going on. What is the meaning of Shankaracharya saying that knowledge alone can give liberation and not all other means? Why not? You are reflecting on it. Remember, in reflection what happens? The knowledge that you have gained in Shravana is actually knowledge of the Guru. In manana, you make that knowledge yours. In Shravana, it is like information for you. Why? Because it is Guru's knowledge that you are gaining like information. When you do manana, that information becomes knowledge, understanding. Then what? I have got the knowledge, I have reflected on it. Now what? Now I need to live that knowledge. For that, what I have to do? I have to contemplate. Contemplate on it means allow that knowledge to sink in. Listening from the ears, then you are processing, manana is happening in your head. Now in Nididhyasana, that knowledge that is now doubtless. Why? Because all doubts you have resolved. Now that knowledge you should allow to sink in your heart, so that you start to feel that knowledge. This process is called as Nididhyasana. Sometimes it is called as Nididhyasana and Samadhi. Two steps are said, no? Dhyanam and Avikalpam, that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This is the process of getting that knowledge sink in us. Okay? So listen, reflect, contemplate, meditate. This is called Antaranga Sadhana. Remember, Shankaracharya is not bringing new points. This is what the scriptures have said. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, very beautiful statement from Yajnavalkya. When he is teaching Maitri, his wife, he says, Atma va are drashtavya, shrotavyo, mantavyo, nididhyasitavya. Are, oh dear, Atma, vai, indeed, drashtavya. Atma should be experienced. That experience is what? The self-knowledge which happens as sakshat sadhana. And how will that drashtavya, that self-knowledge will happen? Shrotavyo, mantavyo, nididhyasitavya. Do shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Remember, shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. If in case that jnanam has not happened, then we are doing manana and nididhyasana for what? For removing obstacles. But the knowledge happens by shravana only. Even if manana and nididhyasana is required, the knowledge takes place in shravana. Now that knowledge has happened, but there are some obstacles. Those obstacles are removed in manana and nididhyasana. So, generally you will hear this, shravana removes abhavana. Shravana removes abhavana. Manana removes asambhavana. First write down, then I will tell you what it means. Manana removes asambhavana. And nididhyasana removes viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana. Now please understand, whenever we are saying shravana, manana, nididhyasana, in that nididhyasana, samadhi is included. So you say savikalpa samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi, etc. Everything is included in that nididhyasana stage. Okay, so shravana removes abhavana, manana removes asambhavana, nididhyasana removes viparita bhavana. What do you mean? Abhavana means I don't know. I don't know who am I. Now that is removed in shravana. Why? Because I come to know that I am that supreme Brahman of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss. The Guru tells me, Tat Tvamasi, you are that. I also gain the knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. So abhavana, not knowing, is removed. But that is not sufficient. Why? Because I have got so many doubts. How can I be that? I am the body. From childhood I am telling I with respect to only body, mind, etc. How can I be that? Now these doubts are removed in manana. So asambhavana means impossibility. Impossibility means I agree to what the Guru is telling, but I am not understanding how it is possible. That is removed in manana. Now I have got the knowledge, I have removed the doubts also, but I don't feel it. One person suddenly one day got up and started to feel that he is a rat. He is a rat. He is a human being, but suddenly started to feel that he is a rat. So then what? Then started doing all the things that rat does. He will take the paper and start to nibble. Then he will, the moment he sees cat, he will run. Now, no problem for that fellow, the problem was for the wife. Because suddenly she didn't understand what has happened to my husband. Why is he behaving like this? So she took this fellow to psychiatrist and explained the problem. The psychiatrist said, a very interesting problem. I have never met anybody like this. A person suddenly thinking that he is a rat. But psychiatrist said, no problem. We'll have a session. So he called her and explained to him, you see, you think you are a rat. He said, yes. But he said, but you cannot be rat. He said, why? You see, rats are very different. So he took a picture and showed, this is the picture of rat. Do you look anything like this? Look at the mirror. You have eyes, etc. You don't have tail, but the rat has tail. The rat is so small, you are so big. On the contrary, look at me. I am a man. I also have eyes, etc. like you. You are like me. You are not like rat. So you are a human being. You are not a rat. Shravana happened. Manana happened. But Nididhyasana did not happen. Then what? Fellow said, I understood, doctor. What? I am a man. I am not a rat. Doctor said, very good. Are you sure? He said, 100% sure. He said, okay, good. Problem solved. He is happy. Wife is even more happy. They start to go back. On the way back, in some time, again the fellow runs and comes to the doctor. Doctor, what happened? I said, what happened? You know, on the way when I was going home, there is a cat. Doctor looks at him like this. No. I know. Just now we discussed. I know I am a man and I am not a rat, but the cat doesn't know that I am not a rat. So the cat will eat me. Now the person may say that I know I am a man, I am not a rat, but he doesn't feel that he is not a rat. He doesn't feel that. He still feels he is a rat. Shravana has happened. Manana logically also explained. Look at the rat, look at yourself, it is not same. You are this, you are not this. Logically also explained. Reflection is over, but experience has not happened. Why? Because the contrary notion, viparita bhavana, is not destroyed. I have a strong notion that I am jiva. I am this jiva who has got this body, mind, etc. Unless this contrary notion is removed, I will not be able to experience that supreme. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This Nididhyasana, what does it do? It removes Viparita Bhavana. Viparita Bhavana, contrary notion. The wrong notion which has wrongly gone inside me. I feel that I am this jiva. Unless it is removed, I won't be able to have that direct experience, which is Sakshat Sadhana. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, when it happens correctly, I go to the Sakshat Sadhana stage where I experience my own true nature, direct experience, without any other medium, which results in liberation. Right? So Bahiranga Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana, Sakshat Sadhana, Moksha. Now, Shankaracharya ji is assuming that we have already completed Bahiranga Sadhana. Why? That's why we have come to study. Study is the step of Shravana, isn't it? So assumed that we have completed. In case we have not done it, then we will not get full benefit of it. And therefore what we have to do? We have to do the previous also step. So continue to do Karma Yoga, Seva. Continue to do Upasana, Bhakti Sadhana. Continue to attain more and more Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shat, Sampati, Mumukshutva, and then continue to study, reflect and meditate also. Now what Shankaracharya takes is, now see, in this whole thing, two steps are most important, that is Shravana and Manana. Isn't it? We have to gain the knowledge and then reflect on that knowledge. That is what Shankaracharya ji takes it now. Let us see, verse number 71 is actually the answer is over. Katham Vimoksha answer is over. He is actually connecting this question to the next question. What is the next question? The next question is fifth question. What is the fifth question? Amish, don't ask like that. Start from the beginning. Ko nama bandha katamesha agata katam pratishtha se katam vimoksha. Ko savanatma. Okay. So after katham vimoksha, kaha asau anatma. What is the not self? What is not me? Now this what is not me, I need to do Shravana and reflect. Manana. So that is what Shankaracharya says, verse number 71. Please repeat. Yad bodhavyam tavedanim atmanatma vivechanam taduchyate maya samyak shrutvatmanyavadharaya yad bodhavyam tavedanim atmanatma vivechanam taduchyate maya samyak shrutvatmanyavadharaya. Oh dear, I told you how you can get liberated, the path I have given you. The Bahiranga Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana. Sakshat Sadhana, already it was given. The knowledge alone gives moksha. That was said before only, right in the beginning, 4th verse itself. Labdhva katanchin narajanma durlabam tatrapi pumstam shruti paradarshanam. Atmaikya bodhena vina vimukti na siddhyati. So Atmaikya bodhena vina vimukti na siddhyati was said before only. Not in that verse. Yajantu shastrani, patantu shastrani yajantu devan, kurvantu karmani, bhajantu devataha, Atmaikya bodhena vina vimukti. Sorry, got mixed up with 2 verses. So Atmaikya bodhena vina vimukti na siddhyati. So Sakshat Sadhana was already given. Now I have given you the path also which will lead to Sakshat Sadhana, the path of Bahiranga and Antaranga Sadhana. Now what I am telling you, Yat bodhavyam, that which should be known, tava, for you, idanim, now. What should be known to you now? What is that? Atma, anatma, vivechanam. The discrimination between Atma and Anatma, self and not self. That is also the question number 7, isn't it? Paramah Atma tayor vivekah katam. Now in order to distinguish, first you should understand what is not self, then you should understand what is self, and then you should distinguish. So that topic I am starting. Also don't forget the name of the text. Viveka Chudamani. Viveka is what we are going to do. Viveka means to distinguish. Isn't it? Who am I? Who am I not? So that topic, taduchyate maya. Tat, that maya uchyate, is being answered, is being spoken by me. Samyak shrutva, listening to it carefully. Atmani avadharaya, please hold it in your mind. Means what? Listen and reflect. Do Shravana and Manana. Information of Shravana should become understanding or knowledge of Manana, and later on it should become experience of Nididhyasana. Information, knowledge, experience. So now I am going to explain to you who am I and who I am not. Atma, Anatma, Viveka. In that first topic that I am going to explain is who I am not. Because that is what you know. Let us go from known to unknown. Anatma, the not self, is what you already know. Let us start from there. So now starts the topic of Anatma, verses 72 to 123. Verses number 72 to 123. How is that? We will see in the next session. Okay? Alright. Please go through the notes again. It is not sufficient that you listen. You have to reflect and correct your notes. Then only it will be clear. Otherwise, it will remain information. No, information has to become your personal knowledge. Right? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.